everyone, welcome back to my channel. It's Mizuki Arts. Today we're doing another paint with me, but real quick before I start the video, I want to say I have a new shop update with a new sticker, my first ever acrylic charm, and a Valentine design up in my Etsy shop, so go check that out. I'm really excited about these products and I hope you guys love them as much as I do. But anyways, let's get right into it. Today we have this beautiful, pretty like garden fairy type character. I've been sitting on this footage since August, so I'm very excited to now be sharing it with you guys. I love the colors in this piece, and I do think she turns out quite lovely, so definitely like I can't wait for you guys to get that to that point in the video because I'm so proud of her. And maybe that doesn't make any sense because obviously, you know, I'm recording this at a different point than you're watching it at, but like genuinely, I am incredibly proud of this piece. I think she turned out beautiful. I do think it's funny though, like my art has changed so much since August. Like I went through my last semester of college, and during that time, you know, I made a children's book and I simplified my art style a little bit. So I'm looking at the blush in particular on this character and it's like way overdone. And that's coming from someone that just loves to overdo blush on a character, like always. But it got pretty dark in some parts of the painting. Honestly, whenever I look at my artwork from this past summer, that is what I see first, is how overworked my paintings were. And I'm curious, like, do you guys go through like phases with your artwork? Because I do. And I don't just mean like, oh, I worked through this or worked through that. No, sometimes it's like I move backwards. Like, I thought I was at a point where my paintings were not overworked, because I took like a watercolor class and that seemed to help me pull back a little bit, but then I started overworking them again, and over the summer you can really see that, which is so frustrating because during the summers I'm so productive, and then during the winter time I slow down quite a bit, which is why right now you're seeing like my backup footage. And again, I've mentioned this in other videos, but that's in part due to the fact that my desk is out in a garage, which I'm very grateful for the space to work in. Obviously, like that's a huge deal, but during the winter time, I mean, I have an electric blanket, but I can't work out here for hours and hours the way that I can in the summertime. Like over the summer, I was making a painting like almost every single day. Now it's a little bit slower in January, but now that I'm out of college, it has picked up quite a bit. Even so, like even though it's cold, like it's still like every 1 to 2 days. Like some days I do sketching and inking instead, just because I have this sluggish, wintry kind of feeling, but it's moving along, you know. I do feel like summer is my most productive season, so even though a lot of the paintings from the summer are overworked, I'm pretty proud of how much work I got done then. Like I was painting just like every single day all the time, and it was great. And now of course I'm painting almost every day again, because I'm out of college, and you know, your girl gotta make stickers and prints and job hunt and record things and all that. I always wonder if it has something to do with the weather too, in addition to the fact that I have to work in a different space during the winter time. Like that cold and like rainy, snowy, sleety, foggy kind of condition that exists in the area that I live in, like during the winter time, really kind of puts a damper on my mood and my energy and everything. I'm sure a lot of you guys can relate. So I mean, I wonder sometimes if I just like, I want the sun, I want the sunshine, even though I don't go outside. I really don't. But like, I feel like that makes a difference in how much I'm willing to work in a day, like how many hours it's light outside, how sunny it is. Like that seems to maybe make a difference to me. But I wonder how much it affects my work. And I'm sure by now you guys have noticed, like, pretty much year-round my paintings have like a pretty springy feel to them, with the exception being like maybe around Christmas time I might do some fairies that are like, you know, Christmassy or wintry, but usually I like to work with pink and green and some yellow or purple, that kind of thing. So I try to keep it pretty springy, and I wonder if that also has to do with why I'm more energetic in the summertime, like more productive, I mean, because there's more inspiration, more to see. But I don't know. I know last week I asked if you guys had like seasonal artwork, but I also wonder, is there a time of year that you guys get more art done? Like, is there a time of year where you guys find that you're more creative or more motivated? Because I definitely feel that way, and I'm feeling it right now in January. I think last year it really frustrated me because I wasn't creating as much as I thought I should be, but this year it's kind of like I understand. Like, I know my workflow, I know my habits, and I know they'll pick back up again as soon as the weather starts to, get a little better out. It also helps that I do have so much backed up footage from the summer, the fall, the spring, even of last year. I think I'd definitely be in a bit more of a panic if I felt like I hadn't gotten anything done in those prior seasons. I feel like I've been chatty and rambly for a few minutes now, so I guess I'll just talk about this piece in particular. So I decided to make like a flower petal dress for her. It's kind of funny, most of my fairies do not have like nature made elements in their outfits. Like, they will not have like leaves or moss in their outfits. For the most part, they're wearing would appear to be like, woven fabrics. But every once in a while I like to throw in like a naturalistic element, and for this fairy's outfit you can see her top has kind of like a wavy, loose, organic feel, and then her dress is like literal like tulip petals. Like, I wanted her dress to look like it was straight out of a garden. So I made sure to add lots of gradients, and you'll see later on I add in like highlights and things like that using acrylic marker to really make it look very thin, very delicate, very flower petal like. I wanted this fairy to be distinctly like inspired by flowers and flower gardens and things like that. I wanted her to feel like she could be one of them, really. But then, of course, her sleeves, I did make look a little bit more synthetic, like, leaves wouldn't naturally have that kind of like ruffly, pillowy look that maybe chiffon would. So that's what her sleeves are kind of supposed to be. And then I put like some ferns and a flower in her hair too. And I thought the only color this fairy's hair could possibly be was like a gingery red color. I just felt like it suited her really well, and it made this like big puffy hairstyle she had like stand out quite a bit, which I think is really nice, and it suits her because I feel like just looking at her that she's like pretty whimsical, pretty playful. Like, if I saw this fairy like in my little fairy world, because I make picture books, so if I were to place her somewhere in there, I think she would be like racing between tulips or something, like just flying very quickly through a flower garden or something. Like, that's what I'd imagine her to be doing most days. Like, very carefree, very happy. She probably laughs very loudly. That being said, I kind of do want to involve her in one of my picture books because, I mean, I painted her back in August, but like, she's still haunting my brain, and I'm still like, I should make stickers and prints of her. So look out for that in like a future shop update. I am working on another one already because I reorganized the space that my laptop, scanner, and printer exist in. So it's like a proper home now, and I feel like I can go and work at them a little bit more often, even during these like winter months where I'm like demotivated or whatever. So yeah, look out for that because I will probably be adding that to a shop update very soon. But I do want to involve this character in one of my picture books too. I think she's really cute, and the fact that just sitting here and thinking about this fairy like again has made me go, oh, she kind of like has a personality. Like, I feel like I should work with that and try to bring that into another piece, like another piece involving her, or like, a full story, give her like a fleshed out role in my little character's world. Another one of the things I loved about this painting were the colors. I think I mentioned something about that at the beginning of the video, probably. But the colors are so bright and springy, and the background that I made for her, I think just really suits her. You'll see it later on. I still have to cut her out and paint all these pieces and everything, but I think it suits her very well, and it still manages to like contrast her because it's like mostly yellow and like a richer pink. She's such a like colorful character. I knew she needed to like stand out a little bit, so I tried not to go too detailed on the background, but I also like at this point I was pretty much like in love with how she looked. I still like I can't believe I haven't made prints of her yet. Like, I'm going to. I scanned her. I did do a test print at one point, but I just never did anything with it. But now I will. I feel like I have to. I really think she just got lost in like that last month before school started, you know, like I scanned everything and saved it thinking I would drop her in like a shop update or something, and then school started and chaos ensued. It was pretty crazy last semester, really. But now I'm looking at the footage for this and I'm like, I remember being so excited while working on her, like truly enjoying painting her. Which, I mean, I was productive over the summer, but I did have days where I was really frustrated, because I was like, this is like my last real summer vacation, so I should be painting as much as possible. And you know how it is, you can't just be painting all the time. There's other things that you have to take care of. And then also, you know, some days creativity. It just doesn't work. Your brain, the skills aren't there, basically. So yeah, when this character like seemed to be pulling herself together pretty quickly, I was pretty pleased. And I pulled out the acrylic markers for this piece, like I mentioned earlier, because Artix had sent me these, I believe in the spring. Yes, the spring. I had to think for a second. Oh my goodness. And I had just been having fun using them as a part of my routine ever since, and I still do use quite a few of them to fix like line art mistakes and things like that. They're pretty helpful. And I had a lot of fun using them to really bring out this fern, and you'll see later I add some like highlights to the skirt and all that. Pretty fun to use. I find acrylic markers to be a pretty unique art supply, especially the ones with this brush tip, because I've never been fond of the like bullet nib style of acrylic marker. I do have a set from Artix that I do really like. It is very nice. Like, they have a lot of paint in them and they're fun to use, but the brush tips are definitely like in a league of their own. It does feel like you're really painting, without like the inconvenience of mixing colors and all that. Like, it's just easy to pull out a marker and do a couple swipes and your mistake disappears under a pile of paint. It's great. It feels like the equivalent of like the eraser tool in digital, except it's a traditional thing. If that makes sense. I don't know that it does, but like, you know how with digital work, you can just paint and repaint things like over and over again. I find that these markers are kind of like that, except I can usually use them in such a way that they blend okay with my gouache and watercolor. Like, you don't always look at it and immediately go, oh, that's acrylic marker. It doesn't like stand out, you know. So that's what it feels like. It feels like my perfect secret weapon for mistakes. Then I got to do my favorite part, which of course is using gel pens. I can't tell which gel pen I'm using in this clip, just from looking at it, but I love both Ohuhu and Arteza gel pens. They're both really pretty like good gel pens overall. I have had problems with both at different times. Like, Ohuhu sent me the Ohuhu gel pens, and my only problem with them at all is that they always have like a middle track, like a blank track in the middle of their like I don't know, their line. You know, if you make a line with an Ohuhu gel pen, there's going to be a section in the middle of that line where there's no ink. I feel like it maybe dries too quick or something like that before it can kind of pool together. I don't really know. And then my problem with Arteza gel pens is that they die very, very quickly. Like I remember I bought a pack of 3, and 2 out of 3 of them did not work. Fortunately, I reached out to Arteza on Twitter and they did replace it for me, which was lovely. And to note about the Ohuhu gel pens, I do really still like them. It's only some of the ones that I've had that problem with the bare track in the center of them. Like, I don't really know if I'm even explaining it properly, but yeah. And those problems of white gel pens dying quickly or leaving a track are not brand specific problems. Like, they're just general. But those are things that I've noted about those brands in particular having those problems, I guess. What I'm trying to say is I'm not trying to talk bad about these products, but it's like they really haven't gotten the white gel pen thing 100% down, have they? Just in general. I've tried a whole bunch of white gel pen brands, quite a few, really. I tried the, oh my gosh, what's it called? Oh my gosh, I can't remember. It started with an S. Signo? I don't know. One of you guys probably knows what I'm talking about. But I tried that one. If you're familiar with pen names and you know what I'm rambling about, comment down below. Anyways, and then the other one I tried was a jelly roll. And both of those let me down terribly. They were not pigmented, and they died super quick. But so far, Arteza and Ohuhu seem to be the best white gel pens I've tried. And then I really like, obviously, still using those acrylic markers to add highlights too, like colored highlights. This is why it's like my favorite step of the entire process, because you get to like add the sparkly, girly fun to your piece. At least that's what I consider it. Maybe you're not someone that draws sparkly, girly things, so it's just like highlights, and not sparkly and not girly at all. But for me, it's sparkly and girly, and that's the important part. Sorry, I'm rambling again. Anyways, I painted and cut out all of my individual little pieces, and here's the really satisfying part where I get to pull all the pieces of paper off, and then format everything. You see that beautiful background I mentioned earlier? Yeah, I'm very proud of that thing. I love it. And I tried to layer all the pieces the best that I could so that she really stood out. You'll see those strawberries that I painted earlier, they don't make a comeback, and that's because I saved them for a future painting. I think it would be really funny if at one point I had enough painting footage uploaded where you guys could see like certain pieces disappear out of frame and never come back, you know, from these Paint With Me episodes, and then one day see them pop back on screen again because I'm incorporating them in another painting. I think that would be really funny, and one day maybe it'll make for a great Twitter thread. Be like, oh, look, years ago I painted this on this Paint With Me, and now it's making a comeback to use in this different painting. Wow, look at that. Wow. Anyway, I'm so proud of how this painting turned out. Let me know what you think about it. I think you guys can tell how excited I was to talk about this painting in this voiceover because I'm a little more energetic and rambly maybe than usual. So I really hope you guys enjoyed this process, and I hope you enjoyed hanging out with me and listening to me say random things into my microphone and all that. Be sure to like and subscribe if you enjoyed, and let me know what you think. Anyways, real quick before I go, I want to give a shout out to my Ko-fi supporters, so thank you so much to Ashley, Savvy, Tiffany, and Lilycorn. Your guys' support means the world to me and allows me to keep making videos just like this one. If you would like to join my Ko-fi page, there will be a link in the description box down below where you can get all these benefits and so much more. And real quick, before I end the video again, I'm going to mention I have new items in my shop. Look, there's an acrylic charm, there's a sticker, there's a Valentine postcard print. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys next week. Bye!